These are the most feared armed forces in the world, and they are storming villages with all kinds of weapons and killing people on sight. What is even more frightening is that this is a real event that happened in Mozambique in 2019. With the mob and the chief of police, the whole village fell completely, and the policemen who surrendered were shot on the spot. The villagers were also dead and wounded. However, in such a critical situation, the remaining villagers not only did not immediately run for their lives, but also all ran into the church. Led by the pastor, the crowd prayed sincerely, asking God to help them through the crisis. But the reality is much harsher than that. In the end, the mob killed several young men defending the village, and then all stormed the church. In order to celebrate the victory, the mob brutally cut off the priest's ear and displayed it in public. At this time, one of the group found the survivors, who were hiding under chairs and hoping to escape. They were soon taken outside, along with several youths from the same village. The commander gave them the choices: join the group and become real fighters, or stay here forever like their families. A young man is hesitating, only to be killed the next moment, under the threat of death. The remaining survivors have no choice but to compromise and live with this group of demons. Mozambique's chaos began with the discovery of a huge gas field. In order to obtain more than 90% of their natural gas resources, a Western country has gone to any lengths. They entered Mozambique ostensibly to help develop it, but secretly supported rebel groups against the government, although the government has repeatedly sent troops to encircle and suppress. Most of them have not returned, because many senior officials have long been controlled by the other side and become puppets of a Western country. 1 second, the rebels were worried they were running low on ammunition, and a short time later, a small team was sent out to throw a net. Under their careful arrangement, the government forces were soon completely defeated. The ambush not only seized a large number of new weapons, and even a military vehicle. The heads of the dead soldiers were cut off and used as trophies for the mob, while those who did not die were brought back to the base for the new men to practice. A succession of failures has made the government not want to send people to die in vain. Instead, they called on Russian mercenaries to help, but since it's not a home battle, the mercenaries still need local troops to coordinate. What they didn't expect was that the fighting power of the local army was almost zero. A military base is like a circus, with no morale, even the major's meal being robbed. But Andre can only pick a little stronger people, select a few so-called elite to go together. But when they got to the scene, there were just bodies all over the floor. After reconnaissance by drone, the mercenaries determined the enemy's position, which is about 10 kilometers away. Upon hearing of such a distance, the major immediately indicated that he would stay and guard the vehicle. The few remaining local elites also collapsed in the middle of the walk. However, Andre can only take a few brothers to fight with him. They were careful all the way until they found the rebel sentry before long. Andre immediately put on a silencer to aim and shoot. After using binoculars to detect the enemy's layout, they immediately made a battle plan. They sealed the exits with broken glass, and then everyone attacks at the same time. Although the riders are usually very arrogant, but in front of this group of trained soldiers, they have no resistance. They died under their guns. The rebels want to escape. Just out of the base, stepped on the broken glass and fell to the ground screaming, and waiting for them only the fate of death. Seeing this, the rebel leader could only escape quickly under the cover of his younger brother. Then the Russian mercenaries, they can only find behind the capitalists for help, and the capitalists did not hesitate to send not only an officers to help, but also a special warfare team. The two armies did not get on well with each other, and the disagreement broke out as soon as they met. The officers proposed burning down the houses of the village to attract the mercenaries and then encircle them, but the rebel leader suggested otherwise. Faced with insults from the airborne officers, they eventually decided not to cooperate and split into two pairs to carry out the plan. The officers then proceeded to burn down the house as planned, and although the mercenaries were successfully attracted, they were soon on their way. In order to ensure that nothing is wrong, Andre left machine gunners lying in wait at the entrance of the village, and he led the team around the village. Sure enough, as soon as they entered the village, they saw the sentry who was patrolling, and after killing him, the mercenaries quietly launched a surprise attack. Mercenaries in the cooperation of machine gunners, inside and outside. The enemy defeated and fled. Seeing this, the airborne officers immediately intended to change into civilian clothes and take the opportunity to escape. As soon as he reached the entrance of the village, he was killed by government troops who were fishing for fish. The Russian mercenaries won the battle with heavy casualties, then drove back on top of their captives. What they did not expect was that as they drove to a junction, they found that the rebels had been lying in wait here. Andrei immediately ordered his men to fight back in groups, but there were so many rebels that several soldiers fell to the ground wounded. Fortunately, support arrived at the critical moment, and they transferred the wounded to the car. Fighting while retreating, the enemy leader, who they thought was sure to win, immediately chased them up with his men. In the melee, Andrei was shot several times and fell to the ground, while the enemy vehicle was successfully knocked down in the front and back attack.